Shrikant. Now we'll start with next chapters, that is chapter number 4, 5 and 6. In chapter number 4, there are some part is deleted from this chapter, but that is very less. Now we'll start with which part you have to study properly, which type of question they can ask, and then we'll continue with that part with the diagrams. So student, we are dealing with light. So when we say light, so your ray diagram has to be perfect. Whenever you draw any ray, you should put arrow along with it so that you will not miss that arrow. Right? Make a habit when you draw any ray diagram. Say I'm forming a lens, convex, concave, whatever. Then I'm putting that optical center. Then if a convex lens, it is your left hand side, it will be f1 to f1. Right hand side it is f2 to f2. If it is concave, left hand side is f2 to f2. Right hand side f1 to f1. Right. So I will mark that part equal distances, and then suppose I want to say कि object is beyond to f1. I'm talking about convex. It is beyond to f1. So I will make AB is my object. Then I will put arrow there for object AB. I will mark. Then I will take a first ray which is parallel to principal axis. There I will put arrow. Then I will pass that ray through that f2, and again I will put arrow. So this habit will give you marks, because it is observed that 90% of students are drawing diagram perfectly, superb diagram, but since they are not putting arrow, they will get 0 marks for the entire diagram. This is the rule of ICSE. It is not the way they can't give you marks, because these are the rules set by this ICSE board. So you have to follow that rules. So this is the main important part, right? We'll go step by step with the 4th chapter. In 4th chapter, frequently asked question will be is state Snell's laws of refraction or laws of refraction. 2 laws. Then refractive index, SI unit of refractive index, right? Refractive index depends on what factors, right? How refractive index is related to frequency, is related to wavelength and velocity. When ray of light is going from one medium to another, which quantity will change, which quantity will remain same? So only frequency will remain same, baki everything will change, right? Okay. Then during normal incidence, what is the angle of incidence, what is the angle of refraction? Okay. When ray of light is going from say rarer to denser, so speed will increase or decrease, right? If all colors are moving with which color is moving fastest in air? So all colors are moving with the same speed in air, but as soon as they enter glass, different color has different velocity. So the refractive index is inversely proportional to your wavelength, right? All that. Next part from this question they can ask what is absolute refractive index and what is relative refractive index. Why can't the absolute refractive index not less than 1? Absolute refractive index is always greater than 1. Give reason they can ask. Then next part will be what? They can ask a question this is not it's a practical based question. They will, I'm talking about figure say 4.6, figure 4.6. They can give such kind of diagram, and from that diagram find the refractive index. This is a practical based question. So they want the refractive index. So refractive index, I'm talking about that figure 4.6. Refractive index is the ratio of df upon g. df upon g, that value will give you refractive index of that medium, right? Next question is figure 4.7, frequently asked question, along with the definition of lateral displacement, right? Lateral displacement definition is given. It is not given in italic part, but it is page number 76. Last 3 lines are the definition of lateral displacement. Now lateral displacement depends on what factors and how, that will be the next question. Then multiple images in a thick plane mirror, thick glass or a plane mirror is removed from the scope. So this year we don't have this, so I'm not discussing about that part. Otherwise numericals are there. Acha, if you observe all the solved examples, all are very important. Many schools are asking question from this solved example, so do that part properly. Then from exercise, if I say the important questions will be 22, question number 22. Then important question will be 26, 27, or 29 also frequently asked question, right? Numericals point of view, we have only 4 numericals. Do all that 4 numericals they are very easy, nothing is difficult, right? In part B, figure 4.23 is very important. It is frequently asked question, but don't forget to write it is a monochromatic beam of light. So give the name, say OP is my incident ray, that is monochromatic, PQ is my refracted, and RS will be, QR is my emergent ray. Then from this we have A plus delta is I plus E, this relation. Now factors affecting the angle of deviation, there are 4 factors on which angle of deviation depends. Then you have that graph of I delta, that is figure 4.24. I delta curve is very important. On y-axis there is a delta, and x-axis there is I. Graph will be a Nike-like structure, so that will be very important. And now in textbook it is not given delta is delta m, I is equal to E, so that part you have to add in that part, right? That you have to add when delta is delta m, I equal to E, right? Then figure 4.25 is not required because that is just practical example they have given. Okay, what will happen if the angle is below and angle is above, right? Minimum deviation. Then this delta m is equal to 2I minus A is important because you have numericals based on this part. Then if you, page number 86, you have second solved question is very important. Even second, fourth, third, all these questions are very important. Especially if you see light, all solved examples are also equally important, right? Now if you say exercise, numericals are there, only 2 numericals are there, and formula is same, delta m is equal to 2I minus A. Now C part, simple application of refraction of light. Here that figure 4.36 is important. Real depth, apparent depth. Then formula for real depth, apparent depth, derivation is not required, right? Then the shift by which object appears to be raised depend upon what factors: refractive index, thickness, and color, that is wavelength of incident light. Then figure important, that is 4.37, frequently asked question, but when you draw this diagram, just make sure that you are drawing 2 rays from each point, that is from point P and point P dash, 2 rays are there. Your PP dash is exactly in vertical up and down, where object is down, image is slightly above, and from the point where that stick entered, from that it will bend. So that is very, very important. You have to mention water, air, and that I, right? Then figure 4.38, say last year only they have asked this question, figure 4.38, and some consequences of refraction of light. This is important, frequently asked question, read all properly, right? Numericals point of view, you have say solved question number 2, example second, example third is important, fourth is also important, right? All 3 are important. Then unsolved numericals, all 3 are important. Third one is special important because that is one frequently asked question. If you check with the D part, that is critical angle, total interreflection, then definition of TIR, condition for TIR, right? Define critical angle, on what factor critical angle depends, right? How critical angle and refractive index depend, what are the values for critical angle for water, glass, and diamond. These are frequently asked questions, right? Then you have then figure 4.46, again important, frequently asked question. Then to turn light by 90 degree, 180 degree, erecting prism with application, and then complete the following diagram like figure 4.50, 4.51, 4.52, especially important when there is no TIR. It is 30, 90, 60 prism, but there is no TIR. That kind of question also they can ask in boards, right? Figure 4.53 is important. Now differentiate between TIR and reflection from plane mirror is important, right? Then figure 4.55, that kind of question, that is solved example first, right? Then third example, fourth example, all these are frequently asked questions, right? Page number 101, 17th question from exercise 4D is very important. This is again frequently asked question. If you want the solution for this, then please send me a message in your video, so that I will make a video on that part. Only such type of diagrams which are frequently asked. Actually, I already uploaded one video. Just you can visit that part. Then you have next chapter, that is refraction through a lens. Now from this chapter, important part will be distinguish between convex, concave, different types of convex, different types of concave, factors on which focal length depends, that is refractive index and radius of curvature, how it is affecting, that will be they can ask. Now what will happen if lens is immersed in water? Focal length will increase. Now why? Because focal length is inversely proportional to refractive index. When you immerse that lens in water, its effective refractive index will decrease, so focal length will increase. Then what will happen if half part of lens is covered? Only the intensity of image will decrease, otherwise everything will remain same, no change. Then you have diagram for oblique incidence when the light is incident obliquely, that is figure 5.12 and 5.30. These are frequently asked questions. Then from 5A, everything is important, right? Because there are some very less questions. In part B, you have real image, virtual image, distinguish, that is one frequently asked question. Then figure 5.28 and 5.29. These are important diagrams where you have to draw 3 rays. So minimum 2 rays are required. When we draw any ray diagram, we are using only 2 rays. But here you have to use 3 rays to draw the diagram. Right? Important. Then you have all that cases when the object is at infinity, when the object is at far distance, when the object is at 2f1, at 2f1, between 2f1 and 2f1 and f1, then at f1, between f1 and o. So this f1 and o case is very important, because this is again frequently asked question. That is the last case of convex lens. Along with that application. Now the new question they can ask, they give you application and draw the necessary diagram and name the lens, right? That kind of question they can ask. Okay. If you observe a concave lens, there is only one important ray diagram when the object is placed anywhere between infinity and lens, right? Draw the necessary diagram. What are the characteristics of image? Then they can ask distinguish between image formed by convex lens and image formed by concave lens, right? If you go to the C part, now C part, what is there, right? Sign convention is important. Then that lens formula 1 by V minus 1 by U is 1 by F is important. Linear magnification is also important for numerical point of view. Now power of lens, numericals are not there, but it is only simple part P is equal to 1 upon F, right? It is not there. They can't ask such questions, that is power of lens. Otherwise all numericals are important. Now from numerical point of view, if you observe part, that is 5C. So according to me, first question is important, then second we can have, then fifth is very important, then you have sixth is a different type, is a convex lens where the image is formed on the same side of object, that is this is the last case of convex lens. Then from my point of view, it is 10th and 18th are very important. Now in part D, page number 127, 128, nothing is there. Only application of lenses is important, right? That they can ask. Experimental determination is not there, nothing is there. Here 130 page also nothing is there. Just do page number 131. There are some differentiation between convex and concave by touching and without touching. Both parts are important. It is frequently asked question. Now we'll come to next chapter, that is spectrum. In spectrum, C, that is C part is totally removed. That is no scattering term. Now if you observe spectrum part A, so you have very few questions and they are frequently asked questions. So define dispersion, define spectrum, what is the cause of dispersion, right? Or they can ask to draw that diagram. When they ask to draw that diagram, draw all 7 colors. That VIBGYOR, violet is down and red is up. You go ulta, that is VIBGYOR, right? Here you have to write polychromatic light. Say incident ray is my poly is many, or white light, right? White color light. Then which color deviate more, which color deviate less. So angle of deviation depends on what factors. It is angle of prism, refractive index, also depend on wavelength. All that part is very important question. Then give reason 136 page, that example 1, 2 and 3. All 3 are important, right? All 3 are important. Even 4th and 5th, these are the numericals they can ask based on this. There are 2 numericals from this. There is a wavelength given in nanometer. They want the frequency. So nanometer is 9, 10 raised to minus 9. That is a conversion. And then they want frequency range is given. They want the wavelength range. That is also important. Now if you check part B, you have electromagnetic spectrum and its broad classification. Actually speaking, you have only 2 parts in your scope, that is UV rays and infrared. But as a teacher point of view, I will suggest you read all properly, but more focused on these 2, right? That is UV rays and infrared. They can ask a question like figure 6.10. They have given gamma, X-rays, UV, so they can arrange them A, B, C, D in that order, and they can ask questions based on that. So that is also important part. Then there is a table given of electromagnetic spectrum, source, method of detection. Except discoverer and wavelength in nanometer, you don't do from this table. You can do it from the below line. It is written approximate range of wavelength and the frequency. That is very important question, right? Then you have properties of common electromagnetic waves. What are the common properties? Important. That is a frequently asked question. Then sources of each you read, but do mainly focus on UV and infrared. Which rays are used in fake currency detection, that is UV rays. Then what is the other name of UV rays? Is actinic rays. Why infrared rays are used in this fog lamp or photography in dark? All that kind of question they can ask, but there you have to write key intensity is inversely proportional to 4th power of wavelength. This is according to Rayleigh's scattering law. So since infrared has longest wavelength, the scattering will be least, and therefore they are used in during war, as a signal during war, right? So you have 2 numericals, that is a megahertz wala. Megahertz is 10 raised to 6, wavelength is in meter, centimeter to convert into meter. All that kind of numericals are there, right? Now that's it for this video. I'm uploading one more video based on this chapter, like sound, current, electricity, household, and then there will be a last video which include your calorimetry and last part, that is radioactivity. That's it. Thank you.